Alright, this screencast is created on Screencast-O-Matic, and I just wanted to create this to show you the process of the web-based inquiry project that we are starting today. Now, I don't want you to get overwhelmed because there's a lot of different pieces to it, and one of the things that I wanted to do was show it to you in the way that it's broken up during this entire process. And one thing that I ask is for you guys to just follow along and make sure that you hit all the tasks that we're doing while we're doing it. Okay, let's just be present in what we're doing and think about everything else later. It's all in pieces. So the first part of it, the first part of any writing process is the pre-writing stage. Within this stage, there's going to be three different elements that we're going to focus on. So the first step is we're going to choose a topic. Now you guys are free to choose whatever topic that you want. Now, having said that, we're going to move on to step 2. This topic has to be arguable. We're writing an argument paper, so it has to have two different sides, one that is a pro side and the other that's a con side. So make sure that your topic is able to turn or change it into an argument. Then the next step of this pre-writing phase is going to be the part where we look at different resources and we research. Now this is going to be something that you're going to spend a lot of time on, and this is not just in this stage. Any good paper, any good research is ongoing, so while we do drafts and while we do revisions, you might find that you need more information. We're going to want to revisit this step quite a bit. But in doing this, we want to start at looking at keywords. How are we going to go and search for the information that we need? So we're going to play around with different ways of searching tools. And then we're going to work on citations. Now I know we talk about citations quite a bit because they're so important. I'm going to teach you how to go through and make it easier on yourselves by using EasyBib as we've been doing. And then just make sure that you create a list and keep count of that. Then after that pre-writing phase, we're going to go into the next phase, which is the drafting and writing phase. So the start of this stage is going to be an outline. Now I know many of you guys are not fans of outline, but because this paper is such a big paper, it's going to be the easiest if you create the outline. So I'm just going to ask you guys to be open-minded because this outline is mandatory, and also there's a structure, a PDF that I've created that's going to help you guide through the outline. And this is going to help you tremendously on this paper. Spend a lot of time on this. Then after the outline, I'm going to do a little bit of talking before you guys actually start writing, because up to this point you haven't started drafting your paper yet. So in step 5, we're going to do a little conversation about topic sentences. What should they look like? How should we construct them? We know we've talked about this quite a bit, but I just needed to touch base with it because this needs to be strong. Then we're going to go into a conversation about background paragraph. Now the background paragraph is going to be the second paragraph of the entire paper. So what should the background paragraph look like? I have an example for you, and I have some do's and don'ts of the background paragraph. Then we're going to go into step 7, which is introduction and conclusion. Now the introduction and conclusion is often the most difficult part of writing the paper. I'm going to go through some introduction tactics. There's going to be a number of different tactics that you can use. I also share what tactics you shouldn't use. Same thing with the conclusion. It's not enough just to restate the thesis, and I'm going to show you all the do's and don'ts of a good, strong conclusion, because you want to start your paper strong. We know the body's going to be strong, and then we want to end it just as strong as we began it or had it in the paper. Then the next step is the sharing and responding, and actually we do some sharing and responding in the second part, which was the drafting and writing. After you guys finish your outlines, you're going to sign up for a conference with me, and we're going to conference just to make sure that you have all the information, that you feel good about the research that you've done, and if you have any questions then we can talk about it then, or if you're having problems finding anything and you don't feel like it's a strong paper, you can talk to me about it then, and then we'll reconstruct it from there. The other part of the responding and sharing is going to be our Writers Workshop groups. Now we've worked in Writers Workshop groups all term, And for this one, it's going to look in the same way. So the Writers Workshop group is actually going to work with the next stage, which is the revising and editing. And the first part, I want you guys to just look at the content. Now, we all have the same assignment. So are we hitting all the information that we need? Is everything in there? Are we citing everything? Is this an argument that we're writing about? So that's going to be the first part. Then after you do the revisions for the content, you're going to go back to your Writers Workshop groups and look at just the mechanics. So the mechanics, what are they? We're looking at grammar, we're looking at punctuation, fragments, all of that stuff. So once we get that back from our Writers Workshop group, we're going to go ahead and do yet another revision and editing. And then we're going to go on to the last step, which is publishing and sharing. So the publishing is going to be where we polish up our final draft. Make it look good. Everything has to be in MLA. Have your works cited page. Double, triple check and make sure that everything on your works cited page is in text citations in your paper. Make sure that that balance is there. Then that final portion is going to be your sharing element. Now for the sharing, I'm going to actually ask you guys to create a public service announcement, and we'll do a little mini lesson on that as well. And this will be where you get to share all the findings of the research, share your argument, what is it that you believe, what is it that you found, and it's going to be in a short video element, but this is where we're going to share it rather than reading all the papers. So again, this is a lot of different information, a lot of different steps. I'm just going to ask you, like I said before, to just keep with me on all the different tasks that we do along. And if you have any questions, ask when you feel like you are a little lost. Okay, because we want to solve the problem before it gets any bigger. Alright, so this is going to be how we're going to do this project.